Hello everyone, one and all. Welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely wonderful to be here for you if you are brand new and this is the first time you have clicked on to one of these readings, one of our readings here. Welcome, and for those of you returning, welcome also. We have some serious sunlight coming in here in Santa Fe in the studio, which is lighting up half of our reading here, but don't worry. We will make sure everything is clear for you, even if the sun is shining its bright light and we have believe here and this beautiful reflection here of the word believe, and I love that. And also for this reading that we're going to do, if there is one reading that you want light shone on, probably all of them, but if there's one that you have to choose, then messages from your person would probably be that one, right? So this week I'm just doing one video because of Thanksgiving. Whether you celebrate or not, no matter where you are in the world, I know that we can all be thankful and sit in gratitude for at least something. So we're going to sit in that energy today. But I also wanted to wish everybody who actually is having a Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have peace and beauty no matter what it is that you're doing, and I hope you stay safe and obviously sane on this day. So I thought what we would do is messages from your person, because we should concentrate on love and energy and pulling in love and that sort of energy coming in. So I thought that would be an excellent thing for us to do, and considering I'm only doing one video this week, that's the one thing that I wanted to concentrate on: love. I haven't done really a love reading in a while. I don't really do them that often, so this is a real treat to be able to do this for you. So yes, messages from your person. As always, we have 3 piles. The first pile actually ironically says light. We have lots of it. So light is your first, that's your first message from pile 1 there, for pile 1 from the messages from your person. And then the second message is starseed on pile 2. And the third message is blue star on pile 3. So this is really for people who I don't want to put on a limit on how you're going to use this, but I suppose it's more for people who are not in union yet. We're talking about your person, specifically a soulmate connection, somebody that you can actually have a brand new life with, not somebody that you're figuring out old karmic ties from. This is somebody that would have a significant relationship with, somebody who is on your level, somebody would appreciate you, somebody you can have a brand new beginning with. So your person. So people who are sort of I guess not together yet, or the energy's coming in, maybe those are in separation, but again, I just want to leave that completely up to you. So as always, please take as much time as you possibly need. If you need to go ahead and pause the video, do that. The more you are in tune with your breathing and your own intuition, because it's all about your own intuition, then the more you are aligned with these general readings. So if you need to go ahead and pause the video, the timestamps will be down below. As always, take as much time as you need. And don't forget, we always have the healing candle going on here. So you're welcome to reflect any negativity or anything that you feel like you don't need anymore. Release onto the flame, or if you want to bring in abundance and healing, you can do that too. We have the magic candle is always dressed with the magic oil that was made under the full moon and an eclipse many moons ago. And also we have a moon cycle coming in at the end. I believe it's a full moon coming in right at the end, 30th of November, I believe. We'll also be having an eclipse too. So this is an excellent time coming in for getting that energy around your new partner and getting some messages for them. So it should be very powerful. Let's move these aside for now. All right, for those of you who chose pile 1, Messages from your person. Let's get right into it. We have your 2 tarot cards, and then we have some oracle cards, and I'm finishing off with the Queen of the Moon oracle for some extra messages. So your first message is light. It is time to reveal your radiant light to the world. So we're gonna put that up there. So that's really your theme, pile 1, for your message from your person. It's time to shine. It's time to be you. Show your authenticity. Let's see what we have here. So we have the Page of Fire here, the Page of Wands, outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. I love that. News of an exciting new venture. Use your originality and ingenuity. Wow, can't really speak today. So that goes along beautifully with this right here. So let's just concentrate on your Page of Wands right now. So it seems to me that this person is coming in quite soon. For some of you, these are always general readings. For some of you, you may know who they are. They're coming in and around you. But either way, they're coming in pretty soon. And, you know, the one message that I'm getting very, very clearly for pile 1 is to concentrate on yourself. And I always say this to people, you know, for those of you who have followed me for a while, I'm not huge on the twin flame thing. And the reason is people get really lost in that whole identity and that quote unquote journey, and they forget about themselves. You know, true love comes in when you concentrate on yourself and you just get things going on your own, and you're not obsessed with where's my twin flame and what's going on. So it's beautiful here that your message from your other person is to shine. Concentrate on yourself. I'm coming in. And what I love about this energy of this person is they're outgoing, creative, confident. And also I love the mischievous aspect of self too. This gorgeousness of knowing who they are, grounded in who they are, this joyful sort of playful attitude coming in. Because I can feel for a lot of you, pile 1, you are naturally very adventurous and you have this beautiful inner child nature, but it comes out a lot more when somebody brings that out in you. There's a part of you that can get really entrenched in this practicality, this day-to-day doing things, getting this done, ticking this off the list. And this person will come in and sort of brighten up and enlighten you and just bring out and accentuate what's already there. So the news of exciting new endeavor is them coming in. Now we have the Knight of Swords here. So, and that is reversed. So if there's any doubt on your side, and I'm talking to you now, pile 1, if there's any doubt that's going on, or if you have gone down the sort of rabbit hole of, you know, that's why I'm not really crazy about it, about the twin flame, because it becomes obsessive, and then you're not giving yourself any room to allow anything to happen. It becomes more of an ordeal in a way, you know. So if you're in that state where you're over focusing and, you know, and you're on the journey of your twin flame, which doesn't exist, the journey, you know, the journey is life, and when they show up, they show up. They show up when you're ready, right? So you don't have to do anything to prepare. The only thing you need to do is to be you and have full acceptance and autonomy over your own life, and, you know, allow your beautiful authenticity and your light to shine in the way that you want to. So if you're going down the rabbit hole wondering where they are, or if there's any doubt whatsoever about the truth of it, and sometimes you go down the rabbit hole and then, you know, and people say there's signs, you know, when they're going to show up, this, that, and the other, and you haven't had any, so there's a little bit of doubt. You know, this is just letting you know that they are coming in and they have their own time frame. You're not going to get the time frame from a website that's telling you about twin flames and this is how it works. There's not going to be a time frame. You have your own time frame. You have your own guides. You're better off speaking to your own personal guides about what you can do to prepare for this person coming in, rather than going down the rabbit hole of specifics. So if you've gone down the rabbit hole, or there's any kind of doubt, you felt them but you're getting weighed down by life, and now there's a little bit of doubt. I wonder where they are. Or there's a little bit of that wanting coming out, that wanting energy, which sometimes attaches itself to a little bit of doubt. Then, this is a reminder that they are coming in to shine your light, to be in your authenticity. You've done so much work, and that's why we want you to have a pleasurable experience in and around this. You've done so much shadow work. You've done so much work. You've put yourself out there. You are ready. So over focusing on this coming in is not necessarily giving you the sort of rite of passage for it to come in. There's so many stories, including mine, where people have dedicated themselves completely to themselves, and that's when their significant other shows up, right? So shine your light, be in authenticity. This person is absolutely coming in. So if there's any doubts of truth about that whatsoever, if you're comparing yourself to other people who who have had similar relationships that you're looking to find, if there's any doubts that have come up with the order of truth and how they will be coming in, this is definitely letting you know that you don't need to worry about any of this whatsoever. This is their message to you. They are coming in. Just shine your light as you were before. We're going to do this one here. Fireworks. Put yourself out there. This is absolutely gorgeous. We also have abundance and the rainbow reviver. These are gorgeous messages here, Pile 1. This person is definitely coming in very, very soon, and they're going to be a relationship that you've never quite had before. I don't want to use the word lack. There was something lacking in your previous relationships, but there was always sort of a tag running after each other, tag, you're it, this, that, and the other. And for some of you, and again, these are always general readings, there was, waiting for them to catch up. It wasn't on your level. This person is bright. This person has done their work. This person knows who they are. This person wants you to be exactly who you are and no one else. This person will see you for exactly who you are and love everything about you, including your flaws, which they will find exceptionally cute, by the way. And there's a lot of an abundance that comes in. So the main message that I'm getting from your person here is that the world does not revolve around them coming in, okay? Here's the thing. When you meet this person, your life takes off in a brand new direction, and they're only a part, an aspect of that equation. There's so much more going on. Everything lifts up. It's almost like they're a catalyst for good to take off in your life, right? So, and that's wonderful. We're not downplaying that by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely not. But the main message that I'm getting for you, that we're getting for you right now, is that all the energy, all the power lies with you. And that's what I love about this relationship. The power will always lie with you. This other person is definitely powerful. But I feel as though in many, and again, I don't want to go on about other relationships, but there was sort of a power play in some of your other relationships too. And sometimes you use that power in a sort of mysterious way because you knew it wouldn't work out. And there's ways that you played with power, and that was wonderful, and that that brought you joy, and it was great. And you weren't messing with the other person, but there was a way that you played with power. But you've never really had necessarily a real relationship where you could be in all of your glory and show all of your power without either intimidating the other person, pissing them off, or triggering them in some way. So in other relationships, you've learned to shut down aspects of your personality that the other person really couldn't take on. For some of you, you were outright caretakers to the other person. This person is so okay in their skin. People love them, they have this real beautiful sort of relaxed energy about them, and they will want you to shine your power. In fact, the first message they said to you is shine your light. It's time to reveal your radiant light to the world. Now, when you reveal that light to the world, shine in your authenticity and let your true power shine right now, they will find you quicker. And you don't need to shut aspects of yourself down when you find this person, because it will be fireworks on every level. But also they're letting you know that, you really are They are a catalyst for everything else that's going to happen. So there's so many other blessings coming into your life besides that. So there's no the way in which you'll bring them in quicker is to not focus on the other person, but take that love and integrity, and again pull out that true power and shine it in authenticity in this world. And then you stand on your own ground. You'll attract them in quicker. And then you'll be attracting this other energy that's coming in. There's definitely new career, or an aspect of the career that will shift and change, that will include what you truly want. And also a coming together of sort of friendships. For some of you, and these are general readings, if this part doesn't apply a little later on, that's fine. But there's a coming together of old friendships, like fractured relationships that didn't really work. Now, these people can come back into your life. They don't have to be sort of integrated fully into your life, but there's people coming back in a way that you are able to sort of heal those broken bonds and then move off. And there's also room for new friendships, really, really sound friendships. So this is an exciting time because you're not only attracting, or this is a timing element, a timing agent in your life. They were always supposed to come in at a certain time. So this person is coming in at a time when you're ready to accept and pull in other people who will see you for exactly who you are. So your significant other and soul family. You've always had to hide a little bit of aspects of yourself again, and you're definitely the sort of people who have been projected upon. So it's you've learned to hide in the shadows a little bit. You're very powerful, but you show your power at certain times, and a lot of you would do that behind closed doors. But you're really being asked to get out there and just be who you are and really enjoy the aspects. Some of you are, just real talk here, some of you are pining after the other person, and just again, that energy is external, and what that does is that energy could be brought back and internalized and really brought back into your own power. And when you're secure within yourself, secure being completely alone and happy, that's when the other person comes in. Now, for those of you who are not expelling energy on the outside and are saying, all right, well, I don't necessarily want anybody else in my life, because there's two different groups here. I don't necessarily need anybody else in your life. You are being asked to shine your light anyway and be open to the possibility that there's someone else there for you. I want to do one more star seeds here because I love this. But the truth of the matter is that they are absolutely coming in, and they are wonderful too. The fireworks, intense celebration. But the one message that I keep getting from your significant other is that why wait to celebrate? Then I'm there. Celebrate now. Let those fireworks get out there now. Absolutely. So what do we have here? Abundance. You got two abundances. Abundance. I'm just kidding. Abundance. Two abundances. When your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open. Again, pulling that energy, any kind of energy that you've been pouring into the external outside of yourself, whether it's pining for another, wondering where they are. Now, wondering if there's any doubt. I mean, if they will happen, that's still external energy pouring out, allowing yourself to get triggered by all the chaos that's going on in the world, which is just lighting up what needs to be released. So no need whatsoever with all this polarization and this, that, and the other. Don't get involved in it. It's just stuff playing out. Conspiracy theories up the wazoo. Let people be who they're going to be. You don't need to show the truth. You just stand in your own truth and let people be who they are. So it's really about getting out there, pulling back all the energy that you've been exposing, that you've been pouring out into the external. Pour that back into yourself. Ground into your own energy, your own abundance system. Shine the entirety of your power without apology, and stand in that, and all of this beautiful abundance is coming to you sooner rather than later. Now, time is man-made, it's linear, so it's difficult to say. For some of you, it might be the beginning of 2021, but for some of you, it could be pretty soon. I know we've only really got 1 month left in 2020, but I wouldn't rule that out either. But again, the message is not to focus on that, because those are external happenings that are happening outside of you. Pull all of that power back, stand in your own energy. And please, if you get one thing from this pile, from the messages here, is that it will be happening. So if there's any doubt, or I wonder where, or any kind of energy that's been put out in the external that's like doubting in any way, this is absolutely here to say, do not doubt. We got you, right? So any more messages? This person is absolutely wonderful, lighthearted and beautiful. Wisdom here. We've also got the 22. We've got the 2 and the 2 coming in together. There's a union coming in, absolutely. But focus on yourself, pile 1. And focus on what you can do for humanity too. The biggest thing you can do for humanity, just to reiterate, is to be yourself in all of its glory, absolutely, in all of your unique weirdness and your beautiful self, you pile 1. So let's see what else we have here. I'm going to do this. And resistance. So this is what's been happening here. I want to pull one more, and I don't want to focus on the resistance so much. But the little bit of the resistance is because you feel as though you have been working on yourself, but nothing is shifting. So again, these are always general messages, but I'm definitely feeling that there's a lot of different messages in this general readings, a lot of different people attracted to different walks of life, pile 1. So for those of you who have been, as we've said, really focusing on yourself to pull in that other person, again, if your intention to do it is to pull in the other person, you're still pouring out external energy outside of yourself. You do it for yourself. You do it to shine in your own light, with the knowledge that this person, this energy is coming in regardless. It's like, it's like a rock at the top of a steep mountain, and it's been thrown down there. It's building up momentum. We could not stop it even if we wanted to. This person is coming in. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to control when and where. You don't have to get the spare room ready for when you move in together, so the in-laws can come over. You don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is trust that it's happening. Pull back all of the energy that isn't completely 100% for you. And once you shine your light and embrace every aspect of yourself in authenticity, this person will come in out of nowhere. So the one message that I'm getting too, we're getting messages directly from your person and their guides. So the other message that we're getting from your guides too, and this is the higher wisdom that's coming in. So we always try to give you some kind of practical sort of support if we can, and utilize these sessions in any way we possibly can, rather than just a light little reading. So we want you to go into your soul and find out where you're not, quote unquote, whole, where you're trying to fix things. Instead of trying to fix things and get things ready into that mentality, we are whole. It's just things that we do to ourselves and ideas and philosophies that we pick up along the way that take us out of this idea of being whole. Because in society, it's not good to be whole, right? Because if we're whole, if we're whole, we have our own autonomy, and people who have their own autonomy are not easily controlled, right? So, there's many different factors over hundreds of years, from religion to society, from laws to this, that, and the other. We can go through them. It's not a political lesson here, that have told us that, that we're not really whole. And the biggest thing in the holistic traditions is, something needs to be healed. I need to heal. I need to heal. The biggest thing that we're getting here is that you don't need to be healed. There's certainly things that need to be released on occasion, but we're already whole. So you're being asked to go back to the notion, the understanding, the true understanding of being whole. So if there's any of you that have any resistance to any of this coming in, any doubt, anything, or, any resistance in any way, shape, or form, and showing your true authenticity and your light in your own way, and pulling back your power from the external, no matter how you've used it, even if you're wishing for that person to come in, you're still externalizing, pull that energy back. If there's anything that you're doing there, then we're asking you to really stretch your imagination or not. For some of you, this could be a very easy feat, but go into your body, go into your soul, and figure out where you feel like you're not whole, where you feel like you need quote unquote healing. Okay, and wherever you feel like you need healing, go into that spot. If it's your digestion, if it's your stomach, if it's your heart, if you feel like you need healing there, go into that chakra, go into that aspect of self and say, I am whole. I am already whole. We want to get you used to being already whole, and already complete, autonomous, divine, perfect in your own right. Perfection in this case means you're completely flawed and human, and you're beautiful. You're beautiful because you are flawed. We want to get you used to that notion of self before another comes in. Because there's been times in your life, pile one, when you're really working on yourself, and then the other person comes in and you start working on them and not yourself. So this is something that we really, 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 truly want you to do. Their guides are here, your significant others' messages here, and their guides are here too, which also lets us know that this is definitely on the horizon sooner rather than later if I'm able to get in touch with their guides too. Let's finish off with, I usually just do 2 of these, but because of the resistance, we're talking about stuff that we do want you to do, but we want to end note on another card. So let's do this. Your will. 13-2, I love that. The essence of magic coming in, magical thinking, your will. Remind yourself of your power. You can do absolutely anything. At times, pile one, you've given away your power. That's really what this reading is about. But trust me, if you follow these guidelines, if your intuition tells you it's the right thing to do, if it doesn't, do not do anything against your intuition. Then your power, your will, is extreme. Some of you are quite stubborn. You have an extreme will, an extreme power. If you really utilize that to your own ends here in an unselfish and gorgeous light-filled way, there's nothing that you can't achieve. And all you need to do here again is to shine your own beautiful light and be happy in that moment for who you are, what you've done, and celebrate. Don't wait for the fireworks to come in when that other person comes in with this whole slew of other things. And I want to be really clear, this person coming in is not making everything better. They want to be really clear about that. It's a catalyst for other things taking off because you've already done the work before they've showed up. It's not a case that they're coming in to change your life and all of a sudden everything's fine. Remember, bring the power back to you. Shine that light. You've got 2 abundances here. The rainbow reviver. This person coming in is full of wisdom and grace and this light-hearted, mischievous, magical essence, like a real nymph kind of energy, like elemental, beautiful energy. For some of you, I keep seeing Sagittarius. Don't necessarily get signs because these are general readings. But definitely for some of you feeling Sagittarius, or somebody on the latter, like it would be Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. I was going to say cucumber. I'm sorry, Capricorn. I'm not suggesting that you're a cucumber. For some reason, when I was thinking Capricorn, cucumber came straight to mind. Anyway, how my mind works is a completely different video. So I hope that we've given you some beautiful assurance, some wisdom, got you in touch with your significant other and their guides that are on their way. So much gorgeous, double abundance here for you. Wisdom, you're doing everything you're doing already is already gorgeous. This is just a little bit more information to amp you up to that next level so you can really enjoy these moments before this person comes in and rocks your world. So if this resonated with you, do feel free to give me a thumbs up. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to the Unicorn Light Tarot channel and hit that bell icon. We would love to have you. And do not forget, we have the Unicorn School of Light. All the details are below. Beautiful courses. One of them is free if you need any kind of support. and love, or whatever it is that your intuition tells you you need. All the details are down below. There are many different ways to stay in this energy and get some more abundance, light-filled gorgeousness in your life. All right, my darlings, happy Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, which is totally understandable and all good considering the native politics around it, that's totally fine too. But we're sending you so much gratitude and abundance energy, and just being insanely grateful for everything that we have. Sending so much love and light to you, Pile 1, until we meet again. Bye-bye. Hey, for all you beautiful Pile 2ers, don't forget we have our healing candle here. Your messages from your person. We will start off with Starseed. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving heart. So the first message that I'm getting here is that, we're really getting to the point where moving beyond any kind of label. It's, perhaps important at the beginning to know who you are, but moving beyond the label. So not necessarily seeing Starseed, although I do see that the person that's coming in will have the same sort of aura as you. So if you are a starseed, they will be too. But the main message here, starting off, your very beginning foundational message, is to remind yourself you're of the cosmos. You're definitely stardust, getting yourself out of that not earthly body, being grounded, absolutely, but remembering your vitality, your beauty, that you are stardust, this majestic essence of you. So that's your first message. We've got your tarot cards, and then we will move on to your oracles here. Love this. 1-1 coming in, the union coming in 2 for the number 11. Strength and Archangel Ariel, one of my favorites. Great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness and compassion. And then you've got the Fool. I love the Fool. We have brand new beginnings. This is definitely this person coming in for you and acknowledging everything that you've been through, Pile 2. Very different energy from Pile 1. In Pile 1, we channeled messages from the person and their guides. So, the main message that we're getting is you're one in the same, definitely connected. You've had past lives, and really just in awe of your strength. Your message from your person, absolutely in awe of your strength and everything that you've gone through. Not just what you've gone through, but the fact that you have so much grace and beauty and integrity, considering what it is that you've gone through. There is one little thing here, to not be so hard on yourself. It's almost like, and we've said this a lot, I feel like I'm saying this a lot just in general, it's sort of a collective message, but this is very specifically for you right now, is that, when you look at other people and you look at other people's lives, you really accept that people, learn who they are through mistakes, and you give people a hell of a lot of space to be able to create their own mistakes, as long as they do pull themselves out of it and are responsible for their own energy. You really don't have a problem with people making mistakes, and you're not judgmental in that way. But when it comes down to you and you look back over your life in this sort of quote unquote objective fashion, why we put them in in these parentheses here, is because when you go through your life, you accept that you definitely have gone through stuff, and you absolutely have been as responsible for your energy as you possibly can. And the one thing that you pride yourself on, and we absolutely agree with you, is that you try not to make the same mistake twice. And you're really, really good at it. Even if you do things over and over again, there's still more to learn from it. So you really don't do things twice. You really are very responsible for your own energy. But then, you don't allow yourself, you're hard on yourself about the mistakes that you made in order, or the person that you were then, in order to be able to move through this and learn from it. It's they're sort of laughing, but not laughing at you in any way, shape or form, but they're sort of laughing and saying, love, you can't have, you can't allow yourself to grow and do it without being messy. You have to accept, you don't have to do anything. You never have to do anything. But we want you to accept that everything that you've been through has been a little messy, and really get into that messiness and really love the messiness of your life. It's some of you, these are always general readings. It's not that, in your house, some of you could be slightly untidy. It is not that all of you are particularly meticulous in your lifestyles. Everything, germaphobe, everything is in its place or anything like that. Most of you are quite relaxed in that way, but when it comes down to looking over your life, you can be quite harsh on yourself in the way that you're not harsh on other people. You accept who you are right now, and you love who you are right now, and you've accepted how you've gone through certain things, but there's this real need to not be harsh on yourself about how you've gotten and how messy the journey has been. Some of you are a little bit embarrassed looking, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I did that, or I've done this. And some of you are in the looking back mode, which is totally understandable. We've had a hell of a year, 2020, right? 2 thumbs up, 2020. My goodness. Anything happened, anything could happen. It pretty much did happen in 2020. We had, the stakes were so high. I think we did, 10 years worth of healing in like 8 or 9 months. So well done. You're still here. That's amazing, without going any further. But it's, we're getting to the end of the year, so most people are in reflective mode anyway. And then on top of that, we have the 2020 with this accelerated rate of healing. And again, these are always general messages. So if this part of the reading doesn't apply to you, then just move on. But if you are one of those people that are looking back, and it's almost like you're looking back on your timeline of healing, and oh, that was okay, I liked what I did there, oh, I didn't like what I did there, it's almost like you're watching it on screen and it's been a movie, and oh, cringing. Please don't do it. Don't do it at all. There's no point in going back on it. If you want to, you can use this session to release the cords of your past completely, because you've gathered the wisdom from everything that you've been through. You really don't need to go over and give yourself any kind of hard time whatsoever. So your main thing is to enlighten up. Remember your stardust. Remember you're here to make mistakes. Some bloody big whoppers too. And that's okay, because you wouldn't be who you are today without them. You have an incredible amount of strength, which has been tested so many, not just in 2020. I feel like everybody's strength has been tested here, but throughout your life, your strength has been tested untoward, and you are incredibly strong. You're a powerhouse of strength and beauty. And your beauty comes from a very pliable sense of strength that not a lot of people have. Some people have, they're really grounded and they're really strong, but they're not always that flexible. You can be stubborn, and in some ways, you can be a little inflexible, but you're actually not inflexible. Hear us out. It's just that you need to listen to your intuition, because your intuition clicks in a little bit further down the line sometimes, because you want to listen to every side of the story. So sometimes you're not quick to move really quickly, because you just want to sum it up for yourself, but you're actually incredibly flexible. So if people have accused you of not being flexible, you just need to weigh it up. You cannot move that quickly sometimes. And there's times where you'll move on an instant. Let's do this now. Let's do it. But you're actually not inflexible. You have a really kinship. You have a real kinship with strength, which can be taken anywhere, and it's really pliable. It's gorgeous. So your significant other, your message from your other person is really to remind yourself you're stardust, to really see yourself as that pliable strength, and stop being so hard on yourself. The energy of the other person, it's like, please don't do that, love. And I keep hearing the word love. So when they come in, they'll probably call you that. The distorted feminine we have here. We have forgiveness. Again, I forgive myself. We just said that. And vessel. Now this makes a lot of sense for you. Admit your true feelings. Again, this makes an incredible amount of sense for you, pile 2. Seeing yourself as that sacred vessel, asking yourself what you truly, truly, truly want. Now, again, these are general messages, so if this doesn't apply to you, move on. But for some of you, this is very, very important. Okay? Some of you block abundance coming in. And there's a part of you that doesn't really believe that you're ready for it. And there's some kind of, it's not really a big deal. There's an aspect of you that doesn't really believe that you'll ever be ready for it. And we want to say that that's true. You're never really ready for these really big life events. But some of you are constantly preparing. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're never really ready. Your significant other wants you to get into the mindset of being a vessel for light, and that divine timing is brilliant and it doesn't need to be controlled. It will happen when it happens. But some of you love the idea of being with somebody significant on paper. It's gorgeous. It's glorious. You can dream about them. You've made them up in your mind. But the actuality of it frightens you just a little bit, even though it excites you at the same time. But that fear a little bit could be blocking you from it. Now, we want to be really clear. You can't block it completely because this person is coming in regardless. But, the vibration of it in and around you may sort of, lead you again down the garden path. It could be another reason why some of you are going back and just need to forgive yourself for what you've done, and accept that the way in which, give yourself some room to have messed up and to learn from your mistakes. And it's almost like you want to be perfect on paper. You want everything perfect on paper. You want the relationship to be perfect on paper. You want your life to be perfect on paper. But at the same time, you do understand in a real ethereal and grounded sense that perfection doesn't exist. So you're sort of at odds in this. And the real help that's coming in from both your significant other and their guides and Archangel Ariel, who is working with both of you, is that profound forgiveness and seeing yourself as absolute divinity. So here's the thing. We always like to give you some kind of practical insight in Unicorn Light Tarot. This is one easy way of doing this, right? We always say that, starseeds, we're from a different universe. We're all made of stardust. We're all made in the image of God. All of that is absolutely true. It's gorgeous. But what happens that with the divinity aspect of it, that we have these incredibly high standards about what it is that we need to do. Now, yes, you are all of the above. We're not saying anything against that. We're not saying that that's not true. But we also want you to add in the component of being human. Okay, angels aren't humans, right? Aliens aren't humans. These beautiful essences are helping from other realms. You came here to be human. That is messy. Oh, it's messy. It's embarrassing at times. Damn right embarrassing, especially if you've had a life like mine. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I made a fool out of myself, I would, at least have a house with a pool right now. So they want you to get back into the notion and integrate the notion of divinity and humanness, because you've gone off in one and the other. And it's distorted a little bit of who you are, and then you've gotten into this, like, on paper you want everything to be wonderful, but they want you to really engage in your life and actually start living on a sort of new on a new height, as it were. You hold yourself back. You can hold yourself back a little bit because the version that's in your head, and there's nothing wrong with daydreaming. That's wonderful. They also want you to admit exactly what you are looking for. There's an ideal version of the person that you want. And then there's other things that you can tweak with. Just be really clear about what it is you want versus what it is you think you need, and incorporate that into the person. The person that comes in will be perfect for you anyway. And the other thing that it does, when we have everything perfected on paper, when the person comes in, this idea that everything will be okay now and we're going to live happily ever after like Hollywood. No, I mean, this person comes in, you're at a new level of healing. You constantly need to work at your relationship. It sounds exhausting, but it's actually really fun if you see it that way. So your significant other and their guides really want you to get into the reality. That's not necessarily a word I use on this channel a lot because everybody has their own version of reality, and and some of them are, a little batshit right now, to be honest with you. And that's okay. Everybody gets to be any way they want to be because that's the way that they're dealing with their own reality and working with it. No judgment whatsoever. But when we're working with different people's reality, we can have 10 people in the room and then we're working with 10 different people's reality, right? So I don't usually use that word for clarity's sake, but for you, we're going to use it, right? It's important for you to understand that taking things from the paper to the reality, knowing that you have this pliable strength. You've got this beautiful, gorgeous new beginning coming in here, to bring in this gorgeousness of light. And this person is going to be really gentle, and they're, I just got this vision of you being held by them, but right now they're holding you right now. Their guides are holding you. Your guides are holding you right now. So we hope you can feel that. And anything that you have that, for some of you, that you feel as though you might have to give up in order to get what you want, in order to achieve, and not even achieve, in order to attract what it is that you want. They just want you to know that cutting those cords right now, that's not true at all. You really can have the fairy tale life. Now, when we say fairy tales, traditionally have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of magic, a lot of darkness, a lot of beauty, but they're exciting and they're beautiful, and you get to really work on yourself. You really get to understand. There's a moral to it, right? There's a meaning to the story. So they want you to stop seeing your life as a picture book necessarily, and start living within that world, if that makes any sense. So let's get you another star seed message here from your significant other. So they're really holding you in this energy and keep letting you know that, again, we're not going to get obsessed with the actual label of starseed, but it's really important that you do remember that you are stardust, but you're also human, inextricably flawed, which is gorgeous. And we want you to really explore your flaws, and really get in touch with what they are, and then just release them, just really embrace them, because that's setting you apart from what it is that you truly want, which is absolutely attainable. It's happening. Oh, I love this. Magnificent. This is magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique, but most importantly, you are enough. Yes, if that is not the best message that we can give you from your significant other, you are enough. Admit that you are enough. Know that you are enough by melding the stardust energy with being intensely human, and forgive yourself for all of that other stuff. This new beginning, that pliable strength is right there from that person coming in, and they're lending you their strength too coming in. It's truly glorious. So we have Queen of the Moon Oracle too. You have so many guides around you right now that just want you to do to be you in all of this absolutely beautiful wonder, and to stand in your own authenticity and uniqueness, which is, an essence of the message that we got in Pile 1. Very different energy. Not surprised. Yeah. Come out of your shell there. Change, absolutely. We know that with the Fool. We know that change is on the horizon. Now, change sometimes has come in and around you. You've had to change because the environment, the energy that you've had in and around you didn't have much chance to not change. But this is a different kind of change. You're choosing this change. This is a vibrational change. This is a way of doing things differently on a new level of acceptance, which brings you to this level of magnificence, of the stardust energy fused with the gorgeousness of who you are. And then the change that you've had before, and sometimes you've moved very quickly and you've made these changes because you've wanted to change up your life, and then you've moved with the energy not of chaos but of stormy energy around you, which you've moved through, and it was the right thing to do to change in that way. This will be a peaceful, gorgeous meadows full of flowers, kind of sounds a little bit corny, but bear with me. Just a real peaceful change, a real peaceful, we don't even want to say new beginning, it's just a new plateau of where you've reached. It's almost like, you felt as though with everything that you've been through, you had an undergraduate, right? You worked so hard for those 4 years, and now you've just graduated and the rest of your life is sort of open to you. You don't have to do that work anymore. That's the way it was sort of shown to me. So you don't have to put that much effort into your life. Not all of that healing, not all of that stuff needs to come first in that way. It can be integrated, and you can be integrated in the world in a brand new way. You're being asked by their guides and your significant other to really step in and integrate back into the world. Now, at times you've had to come back out in order to heal the way that you needed to, and that's absolutely fine. But it's your time now to really release the old and step into this gorgeous human and then humanity, this emotionality, and this also this ethereal sense of self, and you encompass it very well with this mysteriousness that you have. You really are 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in the other, and this is just a time for melding both worlds now and really stepping into your true power. Let's do one more from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, from your significant, beautiful other. And their guides keep coming in. Well, not keep coming in. We've only done pile 1 already, but they came in for pile 1 and now they're coming in for you. So what other message do we have from your person? Pile 2. What have we got? The path. Absolutely. Everything that you've been through has been on a path. You know, sometimes you've done a lot, you fit in a lot, pile 2, on your path. You fit in so much, so it's no wonder that, you know, you feel as though you need to go back and sort through things, because you've done so much, you've allowed yourself to feel so much, and at times you were numb and you didn't feel as though you felt all of that, and you really let everything in, but you were dealing with other things, and then when the emotionality was right, when the timing was right, you let that emotionality come in, and then you were able to heal from it. So you had incremental healing because you healed on a very, very deep level. Now, this is something that the other person, your other person, will be dealing with too, and has been dealing with. Your path and your journey has been very similar in the healing realm, and in many ways you've been helping each other. You've not always been sort of exactly where the other person was. Like, you could have been in a relationship and they were single and vice versa, and when you get together you'll be able to sort of not necessarily discuss that, but you'll be able to, you know, you'll realize that, you know, you haven't done and gone through exactly the same, had exactly the same life. But, you know, the way in which you've dealt with it, your experiences will be very similar. Your mentalities will be very similar, even though you'll be very opposites in many ways. You'll complement each other in those ways, which is why it'll be a very significant relationship. But your path is sacred, and they want you to they want to remind you that you're on a path. Everything you did was for a reason. So when you're having trouble, you know, with the old stuff that's coming up, forgiving yourself or forgiving others, you know, they want to remind you that it was part of the path. You would not have been able to be who you are or get through any of it or learn anything from it had it have gone in a different way. So they're not really talking about the other person here, because that's neither here nor there. They want you to concentrate on you. So please forgive all of, and again, that we've got a little bit of sort of divine feminine and feminine energy coming in here. The divine feminine has always been very fiercely known within you, but they want you to stand in the divine feminine energy. And also, for some of you, there's been, and again, a general reading, but for some of you, there's been either friendships with sort of female, or somebody, not necessarily a gender, but somebody who has very feminine aspects of self, maybe sees themselves as feminine, or is gender feminine. Either somebody who you saw as family, they wouldn't, maybe not bloodline family, but not exactly a betrayal. But there was definitely a letdown in some of that. They want you to go back and see the relationship for what it is, and know that new people are coming in, as is with pile 1. Soul family members are coming in, and they want to remind you that if you have, if this is resonating with you, then those people were coming in from past lives, and those contracts are now done. So again, it's not necessarily, it's just a little inkling. They want you to go back and forgive and really cut loose again the people who just aren't working in this sort of this new beginning that's coming in. Now, that might seem a little awful, like, oh, let's just cut them loose, but it's not. It really isn't. And for some of them, they've already left your life. It's just a matter of you actually saying, I'm done. I'm done. So cut the cords of what you no longer need. I also want to, we have the affinity symbol here of the 8 on its side, reminding you that there is a loop, that there is the sign of coming in. The love is coming in. It is there. But to really see yourself as the melding of that magnificence between heaven and earth. And from that, you will ground into your own power and your own magic and your real mysteriousness and get that new beginning and that pliable strength applied to every aspect of your life. You tend to go back and go back over your life and just, it's almost like you want to rewrite your life. And you can't. So there needs to be an acceptance. And we very rarely say that on Unicorn Light Tarot. You can't do this because, you know, I always say you can do whatever you want, but you can't rewrite your life. The only thing that you can do is let it go. And in that, you've rewritten it. You know, you can rewrite the way in which you feel about your life. So they want you to really go back and do that. And then you're setting up this plateau of brand new beginnings, in which case this platform of love is already settled into, and that person can come into your life a lot quicker. So very practical advice here from your significant other and their guides. They're definitely grounded in their own energy, and they've also been through this too. So they speak from their own wisdom. And you're teetering on the edge of being able to do this. They just want you to have your energy back to you and not externally keep going over the old stuff. And we want to remind you that anybody that's in your life, anybody who truly values you, will want to be in your life. You shouldn't have to chase anybody. So that's just a little reminder. New people are coming in, including this other person, but new possibilities are coming in when you let go of the old completely, the narrative of the old, and just accept that the new version of you will look very different. It's not that you're holding on to the old aspect of you, but you're holding on to the instances of certain types of narrative that have already played out, and they are old, and you don't need to. You are literally better than that. So let's remind you of your magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique, but most importantly, you are enough. So we're gonna end with that message, because I think it's the most prominent message that really encompasses in totality what we've just talked you through. So if this resonated with you, do give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and do feel free to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Love to have you here at the Unicorn Light Tarot Beauty here, our little section of the internet, or wherever it is. And also don't forget, we have the Unicorn School of Light, where there are courses designed by me and my guides, and they are wonderful. One of them is for free. So if you need any other support and your intuition is taking you in that direction, at least go check them out on the website. All of those details are down below as always. So again, regardless of whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, we are sending so much gratitude and beauty. So grateful for all of you guys, and so much gorgeousness being sent to you today. Stay safe and sane, Pal 2, until we meet again. Hey, my lovelies, for all you Pal 3ers out there, as a reminder, these are messages from your person. We also have the healing candle here, use at will. So your first message is blue star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. So an element of knowing that everything that you need is already inside of you. So we're also going to do a couple of tarot cards and then the oracle cards here too. So let's go ahead and get you some messages. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to do these two first. 8 of fire, 8 of wands. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things happening at once. And you've got the hermit too. Sorry, let me show you. It's beautiful card. And you've got the hermit. So we're always working with collective energy also, as well as channeling your significant other. And for pile 2 and pile 3, we've also channeled their own personal guides, some of which you share. And that is also happening in this reading, which is truly beautiful. So definitely movement forward. I think we can say that with pile 1, 2, and 3. So really glad that we decided to do these love readings, because definitely a lot of couples are coming into union. It feels as though yours is happening. This passionate fire is rising within you. Most of you can already sort of feel this person in and around you. Now the Hermit is, I don't want to be obvious here, because we're actually on lockdown in Santa Fe right now. But some people, regardless of where you are in the world, we're sort of being asked to naturally isolate, as it were. So we could put the Hermit down to that, right? But we're going to go one step further, because for you, this was a really, really intricate time for you to be able to have this hermit-esque kind of life, and really at the same time, pile 3, you've been very much immersed and emerged in the external energy, trying to make sense of it in many ways. Sometimes you've had to cut the cords, and this has been an incredible year for you. And we always say here, instead of moving linear, there's one way to do things, and we will do it this way, and we will see it this way. You live spherically. And we can see in the world that there's a lot of polarization, where people are, do it this way, or this is the way, this is the right way, which means if you're saying that you're right, somebody else is wrong, right? And encouraging people to live spherically. But you've been living spherically. It's also been driving you a little bit nuts, totally understand, but you've been letting in everybody's point of view, accepting everybody's point of view as their own personal version of truth. A lot of people are coming up with like truth right now, this is what happened, da, 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 and it's not it's a version of it. But you've been very, very clear about universal truth, which does exist, and you can acknowledge it from the sort of what we would call the narrative of truth, what people choose to see, based on what it is that they need to filter through and work through themselves. And we're seeing this on a personal, interpersonal, global level, and it quite rightly seems a little chaotic right now. But you being that little alchemist that you are, and your significant other, is commenting on this, this beautiful energy of living or seeing things spherically. And you can only really do that by having the hermit lifestyle, to be able to sort of acknowledge where somebody else starts and you begin. Otherwise, and at times that you've been overwhelmed by the energy of it too. Really overwhelmed by it, and sometimes you've been overwhelmed by it in a glorious way, where you see the beauty in the world and you're overwhelmed by that too. So you've been living spherically, and you're now in the same sort of instance. I would say that this is underlying in pile 1 and pile 2, and of course this is universal energy, so I'm not surprised at this at all, but very different energy in each one. But for you, pile 3, you're definitely being, I don't feel as though you're being asked to step into a new role. I feel as though you're naturally integrating back into the world. It's like you've come away from the world to be able to witness spherically. Now you've got a hold on it. You're understanding why people are triggered. You've this, that, and the other. You've figured it out. And you're strong enough to hold your own, and now you're integrating back into the world. Now, the minute of integration, everything happens really quickly. Now, I want to be clear, when it says delays are over, I want to be clear about that. There were no delays, but you were on hold for a second. Now, you needed to be on hold in order to create this wisdom for yourself. And this is what's being commented on here. So this person is coming in thick and fast because your time to integrate, now that you've got this new energy, everything will happen. Now, while you will witness everything spherically, not everything could have happened. So, one could see, objectively, or whatever you want to call it, have the opinion that things were on delay. But this was an important piece of the puzzle to put together that you've done now to move forward. forward. So the first message that I'm getting is hello. And and the understanding of looking over you doing this work is, this person is in awe of what you've been doing, and it's valuable work. And the way in which you will integrate the knowledge of the work that you've been doing, and you've been observing, you've been the real observer. Now, people claim that they're observing, but they actually have a narrative that's interlaced through it. You've not been doing that. You've been observing the narratives, right? So they're in awe of what you've been doing, and so am I, quite frankly. Now, when you integrate into the world, you hold this light within you of true objectivity, which is very difficult to find these days. And again, that's fine. That's just where we're at. It's gonna work out. This too shall pass. I promise you. Through chaos, we will find our light. We will see it. We will see it instead of just having to hold it, right? So they're in awe of who you are, and they say hello. There's a little bit of a timidness, but it's just because they're in awe of who you are. You have an amazing amount of strength to be able to do that. A lot of people are dealing with what's going on in 2020 by narrowing their point of view and really allowing fear to get in there, and being really vigilant about having one way of doing things, whatever, because they want to control the situation. They want to be right. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally understandable. We've had an absolutely crazy year. Would you not want to be able to stand in something that you absolutely know that's right, no matter what? Of course, we all want to be there. Is that true? No, not really. On either side, on any side, it isn't. And that's why you've been living spherically. You've had the guts. You've had the courage to say, there is no truth on either side, because it's all in polarity. I'm going to come from unity, and I'm going to do this. I see everybody's point of view. I can totally understand why this person is doing this and this person says that. But all of these don't make a truism, right? So you've been doing the work. And this person is in awe of that work. Now, when you integrate back into the world, which you're about to do now because you're at next level now, you'll be able to bring that truth and light without having to say anything, because everybody's like, this is this, this is this. You're not going to have to do any of that. You've already done the work. You already know. You're just going to let people be who they are. But your essence will stand for universal truth, which is absolutely exciting. So they're in awe of you. Yes, worthiness. Absolutely. Your worthiness comes from living spherically. You were definitely always the sort of person that wanted more information before you made a decision. You could be one of those people before you buy something online. You got to exhaust every kind of website, every kind of review before you buy something. Occasionally you'll just go in and get it. You'll go in intuition, and that's fine. But generally speaking, you will do that. And that's exactly who you are, and that's a wonderful trait that you have. You always want more information, but the way in which you're coming into this now is you've really taken your personality to the next step, and you've seen it through to the other side, and that's created this worthiness in you. And you know who you are now. And this person is definitely saying, very proud of you, and very much in awe of who you are. Absolutely. We've got water wheel in the struggle. The other thing that's been going on too is because you see absolutely everything without a shadow of a doubt, you can get overwhelmed with everybody else's point of view. So you've almost had to use 2020 to get back to you and live spherically, so you can finally say, no one's right. No one's right. If you're living from polarity, no one is right. I'm done with it all. This is what I'm going to do, right? So that's what you're doing, and you're getting the worthiness from that decision of moving forward. Now, you've been living in this very specific sort of world. Even though you've been living spherically, you've been living in the external, trying to figure it out for yourself, right? But you're just about to move back into the yin and the yang, the yin and the yang. And so we're going to turn it upright for you, because that didn't feel right to have it reversed. Normally I don't do that. If it's reversed, I read it as reverse. I at least reveal the message that's given to me, but I won't turn it upwards. But the first message was hello. The second message is welcome back. Now that you've done that work, you can go back into this spherical living, and instead of concentrating on the external, which you've now figured out, grounded into your soul, you can now go back into the ethereal you, which is very much you. And absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, call in this person. They're sort of like, I feel as though, they're waiting to knock on the door. So it's very, very close. And it's just a matter of the lifestyle that you were living. And of course, some of that is practical because the physicalities of what we're doing right now, but also it was the energy of what you were doing. Again, it was very, very important work that I wish more people would do, instead of being very, very like specific about what they believe. And again, there's no judgment. You get to do whatever you want. Earth is a free will zone. And the minute we say that, you're doing something wrong, we're in essence saying that we're right and you're wrong. And then we're in polarity again. So that's not what we're doing. But that's not what you've been doing, and that you've moved beyond the other side of it. Now you will understand the yin and the yang more than anyone else now, and how they come together in such a gorgeous way. So you're absolutely at the stage of new beginnings. Let's get you some actual messages from your person here. Channel. You are a channel through the healing energy. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what, this is a lot more succinct. I'm not going to lie to you. Mine was a 10-minute rant, but that's in essence what we just said. Living spherically, being able to take that ideology, being able to take that wisdom, integrate it into the world, and hold light for that, instead of this polarizing yes and no and right and wrong and all of this other rubbish that's going on right now. It's not rubbish. We need to work through it. It's not rubbish, but yeah, it's a rabbit hole. It's not going to get you anywhere. So having the awareness of doing that is what you're here to do. This person is definitely here to support you in doing that. So there will always be an essence of, people say that it's not healthy to put your significant other on a pedestal. I don't really know about that, to be honest with you. That makes sense, that they're not on a pedestal, because you need to be on the same level. But that doesn't work for you. This person's always going to see you on a pedestal. They're always going to see you a little bit higher than them. And it doesn't mean that they expect you to fill in the gaps or, figure out or refactor in their worthiness. No, you'll definitely be coming together and you'll be on the same level. But they will always have an essence of seeing you in the light and being a little bit in awe of who you are and what you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I really... When people say that, I think that's almost dismissive. I don't think it's at all reality. If you really love somebody, you tend to put them on a little bit of a pedestal. You don't want to put them so high that it's not realistic, they can't live up to it, and then they fall. But that's not what we're talking about here. And they're really just seeing every aspect of who you are and appreciating that, and just really relishing in your beautiful power. And I don't think I can't see that there's anything wrong with that at all. I think it's beautiful. So let's get one more message here for you. Patience. Be patient and allow destiny to unfold at its own pace. So I will say to you, Pile 3, this person is coming in, but I don't get a sense of the other two with Pile 1 and Pile 2. It was this urgency, like they're coming in a lot quicker. Now, this person is definitely coming in, and it's not that you have a lot of work to do to bring this person in. But either you're over focusing on it, which did come up a little bit in Pile 1, or there's a factor here where it's a little bit longer, but it really doesn't matter, because the way in which you had just pushed through also when I'm speaking to your significant other, they're not and their guides, they're not as clear to me as Pile 1 and 2, which means they're working through stuff in their life too. Which means that they may not be completely on the horizon, but they are coming in. And again, it's very difficult. Time is man-made and it's linear, so I can't give you a month. I can just give you the energy of it. they're also holding back just a little bit because they're working on stuff by themselves. Right now, they're really refigurating a lot of stuff that's going on in their lives. So they want to be there for you, and they are there for you. They say hello, very much in awe of who you are, but there's this feeling that they need to catch up. And we've got to say, Pile 3, I kind of agree with them. There's stuff that they need to do to catch up too. When they caught up to a certain level, so you're both on a basic moral code level, then you guys will meet. So hold on to that energy, that patience, that love, that beauty. You have a lot going on in this world that's coming in, Pile 3. The way in which you are about to be integrated into the world is going to keep you busy for a while. Now, when you fully integrate back into the world, bring that worthiness, and end the struggle in your own way, again, without fighting or reasoning with this, that, and the other, but just holding that space for universal truth beyond polarity. That's all you need to do. Then your life will take off in not a completely different way necessarily, but it will be at a new length. You'll be attracting new situations, and within that new situation, that person will come into you. So it's a matter of integrating back into the world. Now, again, just to reiterate, you had to do it this way. It's the best way to do it. And in many ways you were still in the eye of the storm, with everything that was going on. And sometimes you had your ups and downs with it. So there were some tough moments where you were like, very heavy energy. It doesn't matter whether it's one side or the other. If it's in polarity, it's heavy energy. It's just, just one side or the other. Again, not wrong or right. You've had to work through that energy and make it work for you, so you can make sense of it. You can make sense of the narrative. See where those narratives exist within you, and then deplete them to the point where you're ready to release them completely. So this person is coming in. Don't worry. They're saying, if anything that we can give you in this Pile 3 is this, absolutely, don't worry. They're coming in. It's absolutely coming in. And this is a piece of the puzzle that you just went through. Once you're integrated back into the world, I feel as though there's a community aspect to the way in which you meet. So protection, absolutely. This person can offer you protection without a shadow of a doubt. Definitely feeling that very, very strongly while you do this work. Oh, the masculine. Absolutely. This is a gorgeous essence. Now, if you are female, regardless, this person has masculine, grounding, beautiful energy for you. Now, regardless of gender. But this is exactly what, you have masculine energy too, absolutely. But this person will have the masculine energy in a way that does provide this sort of protection and this beauty for you when you allow it in. You've definitely been used to doing things on your own, and this is a time for you to really envision sharing your life with somebody else, and really opening up your heart and some space in your life for this person to enter into your life. But they're offering you protection, and they're offering real protection, of like solidifying everything, like this solid protection that they can offer you while you do this work, which in essence is like overwhelming but ethereal work in a way, because you're not really out in the world, but it's very real work. It's very real and worthy work. So they're offering you that. They're incredible people. Whoever this person is coming in, they have wonderful, grounding, beautiful energy, very sensitive, but at the same time, very grounded and very, what am I trying to say? They have emotions. They have emotion, but they're acutely aware of them. They're very even Stevens. They're very evenly based emotionally. You can be a bit up and down, this, that, and the other, and that's fine. That's totally fine with the level of empath that you are. For some of you, it's amazing that you're even alive with everything that you've been through. So we have a lot of compassion for you there. But you've had to learn with your emotionalities. You've learned with the ups and the downs because you have such intense emotionalities. And even though they have intense emotions, they have a much more of an even base, which will be wonderful for you. Like grounding energy, maybe even earth energy. They may be an earth sign or just have a lot of earth in their or in their chart either, but they have earth energy even in and around them. And we have assessing. Absolutely. That's what you're moving out of. That's what you've done. And again, look at this. It's beautiful. She's looking in with the microphone, but staying very much away, right? That's what you've been doing. So I want to choose one more because we've already talked about the assessing. There's no reason to go back over that. So I'm getting pulled to get one more message from your person here. Let's see what we have for you. Self-reflection. That's a message directly from him to you. That's what he's doing right now. Now, what you've been doing in a sense has been the opposite, but it's coming back to the self-reflection mode now. You've been doing the external of the world and how that exists, and then how it pertains to you, to your narratives, again, to be able to release them. He's in a or this person, I get a very male energy, but this person is in a very self-reflective mode too. Not just making sense of everything. You're not just making sense of everything. You're actually sorting out fact from fiction. You're actually moving beyond polarity. You're doing a lot more than just self-reflecting. And so is he. He's working, this person is working this out for themselves. But they offer you protection. They offer you their support. They offer you their groundedness. They offer you this awe of what you're doing at a level of commitment that few people are willing to do right now because they're caught up in the fear, and that's totally understandable. I mean, if you haven't felt fear and anxiety at least a few times in 2020, then I mean, I'm in awe of you, you know? So, I mean, just picking up on the collective energy, whether it's your energy or not, just feeling it. So this person is in self-reflective mode, which means that they're getting ready to come into your life. Remember, to concentrate on who you are. You are a channel for true and pure truth. Now, you would think that most starseeds are, but starseeds can go off in different directions. And remember, when we channel and filter it through what we need to learn ourselves. You are actually here to project the universal truth beyond polarity. Not all starseeds are here to do that, or have been doing it. They might come back to it, and that's totally fine. Again, it's all part of the journey. Neither here nor there. But you're here to really project the pure truth in its anonymity, in its beauty, in its objectivity. And that is really, really pure work. So that's what you're doing. That's part of the self-reflecting. So again, the patience, they're there. They're offering this up to you. They're offering up their heart and soul to you. And they're doing this work in order to come into your life and be worthy of you. So I sincerely hope that we gave you some practical ways to support and ground you, and at the very least let you know that this person's coming in without a shadow of a doubt. And again, it's difficult to say. I mean, you know, they are giving up as much of it. We're channeling their energy. They're giving up as much as they want to right now. If they're in self-reflective hermit mode, that's what they're doing. But they're letting you know that they're on the same path as you. They're right there with you. And they're really proud of you. So if this resonated with you, feel free to give me a thumbs up and do let me know in the comments below. Absolutely love hearing from you guys. And of course, go ahead and hit subscribe on that bell icon, and you can be with us at Unicorn Light Tarot. Be in our little group here on the internet, or big group, or whatever it is. Be part of us. And we also have the Unicorn School of Light down below. There is a free, beautiful Beyond Fear gorgeous course. And also we want to say thank you to and welcome to everybody that's just started new courses too. There's other courses. You can go to the school, Unicorn School of Light, and check them out. Also, there is more information on the website. All the details are down below. If you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, regardless, so much gratitude for you. From my heart to yours. Please stay safe and sane on this day and every day. Until we meet again, Pile 3. Bye-bye.